So this is a rare treat. I'm here inside this building here in Mexico City in the Roma neighborhood. This building is known as La Casa de las Brujas, the House of the Witches. Not many people get to come inside. It's a private residence, private apartments. But I just met some foreigners who are staying here in an Airbnb. So I got to come inside and there's definitely a different vibe in here. I'll show you around. This is the lobby. Several stories here. Sounds like it's starting to rain outside. And this place has a lot of stories of hauntings and tragedy associated with it. So we're gonna go outside before I get in trouble. But here in La Casa de las Brujas, the witch's house, people say the apartments are haunted. Lots of people who have lived here have had experiences. Say they hear things move around on their own. One young lady called into the radio program, La Mano Peluda, Juan Ramon Sainz, and she said that she lived here and she felt a bad vibe. She called in a feng shui expert who said that the energy was below negative. And so she took some photographs, and in the photographs she saw hundreds of faces where the eyes would be the mouth of another one and all the faces melded together. Really creepy stuff. And so the question is, why here in this building in Colonia Roma, why do people say it's haunted? Why do they call it the witch's house? Well, let's take a look at the front of it, and that should explain part of it. Ooh, this rain is coming down. I'm going to take a look at the front. I mean, just looking at the facade of this place, it's right here on the corner, and we'll wait for the traffic. But the front of it, it's this old Gothic style red brick building, and the front of it looks like two eyes. And when we back up, you're going to be able to see that the main tower of the building is actually shaped like a witch's hat. So when you look at the front of the building, it actually does look like a witch with two glowing eyes staring down at you. And so that's part of it, I'm sure. It was built in 1908. This neo-Gothic style of architecture. There we go, now you can see clearly the witch's hat on top. So that would definitely be part of why children would walk by here and get the creeps. They said this building looked like a witch staring down at them. It's definitely this old Gothic red brick building. Another part of that reputation has to do with the fact that in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, school children would see old women coming in and out of this building. Now the reason for that is actually a logical reason, but no less creepy. It's because there was a woman, a folk healer, a curandera. Some called her a healer, others called her a witch. Paquita was her name. And she lived in here. She was from Chihuahua, but she lived here. And she was a traditional folk healer, a curandera. And she would heal people and do home surgeries on people. She'd do surgeries on people with no anesthesia, just a kitchen knife, cut people open, organ transplants, cut out tumors in her house in here. And so, of course, that's a controversial thing. So some people said she was a miracle worker, that she was a saint. Other people said she was a witch. They said that she had the help of spirits. She said she would call upon the spirit of Cuauhtemoc, the last Aztec emperor here in Mexico City, and that he would help her do her psychic surgeries. But other people said she tortured her patients, that she killed them, that she was a butcher. So, very controversial figure. Another person associated with this house is William S. Burroughs, the writer. And I just learned this from these foreigners who are staying here. Ooh, we've got that's either a raindrop on my screen or some kind of orb. Let's try, nope, raindrop or orb. You be the guest. You be the you know what I'm trying to say. You be the judge. William S. Burroughs lived here, and he killed his wife while he was in Mexico City. He did not kill her in this house, but he did murder his wife, and he lived in this house at one point. So a lot of history of tragedy, of strange practices associated with this building, the House of the Witches, La Casa de las Brujas, right here in Colonia Roma, Mexico City.